Hi guys, welcome back to my stream. Okay, I was having audio difficulties earlier, but I'll just repeat everything I said earlier. So first off, welcome to my stream. We're going to be talking about housing in America, my thoughts on it. Love to know your thoughts, depending on what state, because I feel like it's depending on what state you're in. It might be different between the opinion of whether it's a good idea to buy a house or not to buy a house, how long you want to wait for. So love to hear that from you. If you want to share what state you're from, comment down below, or if you happen to be in the live stream. As always, I appreciate you guys. If you haven't already, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel, smash that like button, all that good stuff. Hi there, Larry. And okay, I'm glad that my mic is working now. Well, I'm using my laptop, so I probably have to fix my Shure mic or something because it's just been a little bit funky. But before we get started on that, if you don't already know, I have a second channel, so I pinned it to the top of the live stream chat. It's always down in the description below, all my information. So please support the second channel. It really does need help. I have like under 100 subscribers over there, and I definitely want to grow that second channel as well. I've been posting videos recently of my newest thing. My newest thing is that I took on another platform. I know, so crazy. I already have more platforms than any other human being I know. And I decided to try out another one, and it's been a lot of fun. So I don't know if you guys have heard, but I've already had people on this live stream in the past tell me to like about this app called Whatnot, which apparently it's like live stream sales. And I've always known what live stream sales were because I've seen the videos about like people in China doing live streams, and then how there was this girl that just like she'll just like show a product and then she'll just like, oh, I threw that in the trash. I threw that in the trash. That was bad. I meant to throw that on the ground. Anyways, so there's this girl. She's really funny. I mean, I don't think she means to be funny, but it was like a meme for a while where this lady just like she does these live streams, like vertical live streams. I don't know what China platform it is, and she'll just like show an item like that, and then it just gets sold. And she shows it like this, and it just gets sold. And I remember laughing at that, and I was like, no way. I was like, how is that even possible? And now that I'm doing it, so I am officially a host on Whatnot. It is a store that pretty much sells anything you can think of. It's got beauty stuff. It's got electronics from tablets to like fans and blow dryers, like toothbrush. I pretty much sold everything under the sun so far, and I've only done 3 days. And I actually streamed that. I stream myself doing it, like not the actual screen itself when you see the bids, but I just like yeah, I stream myself doing it for like 4 hours because each show is like 4 hours. And I streamed 2 episodes, so the second and the third. If you want to check that out, it's on the second channel. It's literally me like what it sounds like I'm just talking to myself because I'm always talking to myself. You can't hear obviously the bids. It's just a bunch of people on the screen. So if you want to check that out, that's about 4 hours, 2 episodes on the second channel over there. And if you want to come and support me, especially if you're in America, I think Whatnot, you can get it in like other countries as well. I know they're in Canada too, but obviously it doesn't make sense if you're in like another country buying an item in the US unless you really want it and you're willing to pay for high shipping. But if you are in the US, I highly recommend you check out Whatnot, even if you don't buy anything. There is free giveaways, because what's interesting about this app is that I didn't know about this. Even though all the people told me to go and like do Whatnot for like a very long time, I was like, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't really see what the big difference is between just another app like Whatnot or like TikTok Shop and all these other live stream sales people. I was like, what's the big deal? But now I kind of get it now that I'm on it. So like one special part about it is, first off, you can use my link down in the description below for Whatnot. And then once you use my link right away, the company Whatnot gives you a credit of $10 before you buy anything. And with that $10, you could buy anything out there. And then I think once you buy something, I also will get some type of a credit. I think also $10. So basically you can get Whatnot and then afterwards start referring your friends and family, and then they'll get the credit, and you'll also get the credit when they get something. But the best part about it is not just the credit, but the fact that there are a lot of new shops on there, and then even very established ones with like 30,000 followers. Not every store has to do this, but they have the option to do what's called a giveaway. And then every time you're like scrolling, so basically it's all on the phone, right? So when you're scrolling, it'll be on like the top right, and on the top right corner, it'll say giveaway. And or it won't. If it doesn't, that means that store is currently not doing a giveaway. It doesn't mean maybe later they won't. Usually some stores, some bigger stores, they might just do a giveaway like every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes. And then some stores may not do any giveaways. Some may like take a little longer. And the giveaways are like absolutely free most of the time, unless they do a giveaway that's like just for a buyer. Most of the time they can do a giveaway for just everybody, which is what the store that I'm going to be hosting at is going to be doing tomorrow and all the previous 3 days. So basically you go on the app and you watch the show live. And even if you don't buy it, you can choose to bid and buy something if you want to. Some things are like $50. I've seen it sold for like $1, $3, which is crazy. But even if you don't buy anything and you see the giveaway start, it basically does a 5-minute countdown. All you have to do is follow the store and then you enter, and then Whatnot, the app, the software decides who wins. So there's really like, there's no being rigged in there. It's not like the seller can decide to choose their friends and family. They can't. It's just anybody has an equal opportunity if they allow everybody to enter for the giveaway. So definitely check that out if you haven't already. Drinking ginger and lemon tea and listen. Oh my God. I need ginger lemon tea yesterday because obviously I've been talking 4 hours. Like every time I do those, but it's not actually that crazy because I feel like a lot of my friends are like, how can you talk for 4 hours nonstop and do these streams? Like they're so long. And I was like, that's not really that bad because I could literally talk to myself for like 2 hours on the second channel and on this channel with you guys. So really, I feel like I don't know if I've trained my vocal cords because last year this time it was really weird. I like lost my voice for like 2 months in a row and I kept drinking all these like Chinese herbal teas and they didn't work. But like this year, I'm talking way more than I ever did last year and I haven't really lost my voice yet. But knock on wood, hopefully I don't jinx it. Yes, thank you for letting me know. I was like, blah, 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 before I read your comment. And I was like, oh my God, they couldn't hear anything. Something's basically wrong with my Shure mic. I hope it's not like corrupted or something. Cause I was talking to my girlfriend yesterday and she was like, oh, her iPhone recently, the wire and the phone, I guess, got corrupted. So then she went to fix her iPhone. And then afterwards, she didn't fix the corrupted wire. I don't even know how a wire gets corrupted, by the way, but whatever. And then so she brought back the fixed iPhone and then she used the same like cable to charge it. And then like her phone got messed up again. So I don't know if the same thing happened to me after learning what happened to her. But I use obviously like my Shure mic and I just like it's been really funky lately. I tried to record like a singing video on QuickTime the other day and it just like turned off. But then I thought that maybe I just have too many videos on my laptop or something. So I was trying to clear more space before using it again. But then I was using like this mic right now for the live stream that I just tried to do. And it just straight up didn't even show. But all the lights were like lighting up. So I'm very confused, but it's okay. Anyways, thank you guys for those of you, you know who you are, that are supporting my second channel. Appreciate it. I need the hours. You know, I have under 100 subscribers, but every single one of you matters. So even if I never get, like, I think you need minimum 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Even if I never get it on the second channel, it's okay. Still appreciate it. But I appreciate those of you guys that are helping me and getting me those hours and subscribing over there as well. Let's get started. So I want to hear what you guys think about all of this. I honestly did not know. Like, and I got my real estate license. Like I went to school and did the whole shebang and like passed the test. I actually never knew because this was not a test question like back when I got my license. But apparently, because everyone's talking about housing right now and how housing in many places around the world is kind of dropping slash a little stagnant. And it is basically a buyer's market right now, at least in America, meaning buyers have to say, because when it's a seller's market, buyers are kind of screwed. You go with like whatever this, if the seller's like the house is $1.2 million and you're like, man, this looks like a shack, you're probably still gonna have to pay $1.2 million. That's when it's a seller's market. A buyer's market is when the seller now has to think, okay, I have to see what my neighbors are posting their houses for. I mean, you always should do comps and like compare regardless. Otherwise, you can't just in a neighborhood where all the houses are like $300,000. You're not just randomly going to have a similar looking house and just price it at $3 million. Like that would not make sense. But anyways, so you have to do comps anyways, but now in a buyer's market, the buyers have more of a choice, more of a say, because let's say the house is posted for $1 million and you look around and you're like, wait, no, all these houses nearby are listed and they're like 900,000, 800,000, and those aren't even selling. So how are you here looking at me saying that I need to pay you $1 million for a similar looking house, or maybe even a smaller house than a house selling for 900,000 and it's been sitting on the market for possibly 50 days. So this is on the news right now. This is I'm reading from newsweek.com. So that's where the credit goes. Over 1 million homes for sale across US as inventory piles up. And I actually looked this up. You can find this on Google as well. The number of homes sale topped 1 million for the first time since winter of 2019. I did not know that for the last, I guess, 6 years, we didn't have over like I guess it was always under 1 million of homes like available at the same time. That's kind of crazy because I don't know, there's more than 300 million Americans, I think, in America. And 1 million being sold. It sounds like it's not even that much, to be honest, but I guess according to the records, that is a lot. I don't know if that also I'm assuming it probably includes all the condos and everything, like all types of units. But I always thought that we like that would be something basic. Like maybe we always usually have a million, and if anything, we would have 10 million homes for sale. So kind of shocking over here, but it says it exceeded 2020 levels for the second month in a row, a key pandemic recovery benchmark. Still, inventory remains 14.4 below typical 2017-2019 levels, though May's gains indicate market is closing the gap at an accelerating pace. So also, all of these news coming out, what I find interesting is that this is just the beginning. Like if you watch any like finance podcast or real estate stuff, you should know that like every single person always talks about real estate in a way where it's kind of a delay. It's not okay. The stock market, if let's say tomorrow America goes to like major war with like we're having World War III tomorrow. Like let's say that's all of a sudden happening and like I don't know, China kicks out all of the Apple stores and everything's just over. Like we're no longer going to have American companies in China and then vice versa. No Chinese company allowed in America. Like if that starts and it goes crazy, you know, the stock market's going to tank in like a millisecond. Like the moment the market opens, it's going to tank. But real estate doesn't happen. Like it just doesn't happen as quickly. And that's why real estate is not as liquid. You know, when rich people say like when they have like, when someone asks them like, okay, how much money you have? And then they're like, well, liquid or not liquid. So house is not something that is liquid because it's not something that you can easily turn into cash, right? BTC is more liquid than a house, basically. So I think it's interesting what's happening right now because right now this is like the first headline I feel like in the last couple of years I've been waiting for, because if you guys have been following me, you know that I've been waiting for these prices to drop. It's bittersweet because you can't laugh and be like too happy about it because you're like, okay, it really sucks for the folks who bought at the super all-time high prices and like now their houses are like not worth as much, right? And for the folks that are like doing Airbnb or renting out their houses or paying crazy high mortgages, a lot of people can't keep up with their payments, hence why this is also a theory on why prices are dropping or more stagnant. And yeah, so it's a bittersweet moment. I'm of course on the side that I've always wanted. I'm not going to feel sorry about the fact that I'm happy that the prices are dropping, because there's tons of people, also millions of people that are probably can't afford a home in America. Actually, there's more people who can't afford a home than people who own a home. So you know what? The majority of us are probably happy that the housing market is dropping, and you still have to wait for it to drop a heck of a lot more before most of us can afford anything. But anyways, I'm kind of glad that it's dropping. It's not dropping to the point where I'm like, oh, I could just go outside and buy a house like I could buy coffee. Okay. It's not that low yet, but this is just honestly the beginning. Let me know what you think and how long you think this will take. But generally, I swear what I've heard is it takes like 1 to 3 months when the headlines come out like this and the YouTubers are making videos like this. It should take like 1 to 3 months more before you see more of a decrease in price. Because the way I see it is like psychologically, if I am a seller putting a house on the market and I'm seeing this in the news, and I know that all the buyers are also seeing this in the news, it's kind of like they already have the upper hand, but that was maybe more silent a couple weeks ago, and now it's like no longer a secret that like the sellers do not have the upper hand and the buyers do. And then you're going to have basically less offers and sellers are just going to have to drop their prices. But I have seen like a couple open houses, and a lot of times like few months back, a lot more people were more stern with their pricing. They're like, I'm going to stick with this price, not like a penny lower. You're not going to get it for a penny lower. Well, I don't see those houses. They didn't sell. So, and that's no surprise because there's another piece of detail in terms of real estate. So, according to Zillow, as of today, June 9th, 2025, to make sure, I was like, I don't know my days, man. Like every day I'm doing something. So I don't know. As of today, June 9, 2025, the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate is around 7%. According to Zillow, while this rate is down from previous week's average, it's still higher than the rate seen during the COVID-19 pandemic. Other fixed rate mortgage, like the 15-year, are also lower than they were last week. But guys, 7% is still pretty high compared to, well, if you were lucky enough to get in January 2021 during the pandemic, everything crashed and the mortgage rates reached to as low as 2.65. Although I personally don't know anyone who actually got it for 2%, around 2%. Everybody that I know got it for like 3.3 or 4. and people were already really happy with the 3 to 4. Another detail on the housing situation, which I feel like is only going to get worse, is as of May 2025, the median, I'm getting this off of Google, the median number of days homes spent on the market in the United States was 51 days, according to Realtor.com. And this is 6 days longer than the same time last year. But this is obviously, it depends on what location you're in, because in LA, things do move faster than, a home in, let's see here. They gave an example of in a highly competitive market like Southern Pines, I don't even know what that is, NC homes in 55 plus categories are selling even faster with an average market duration of just 35 days in April 2025. So it's different depending on, but the median is 51 days. And this is obviously a significant change from around, again, 2021, where a lot of the houses would just be like online. It'll say a lot of the homes were being sold really quickly, like around 30 days. But I specifically remember like looking at the houses, and like it was just turning around so fast during the pandemic that the houses would just go on the market for like 2 weeks, and you would get like 80 offers, I heard, from like certain real estate agents, and 80 offers on like a single home, and it would just be gone in like 2 weeks. So the fact that it's supposedly on the news for around 50 days median is kind of insane. Like this could really drag on. And if a house still doesn't sell, and that's why I feel like the thing about real estate is it keeps dragging. So like right now, okay, you're sitting on you're sitting on a house that's, doing open houses, and you're trying to sell it, and it didn't sell. And right now you're on the 40-day mark, and you already see in the news people are saying that houses are sitting there for an average of like 50 days. So let's say another month goes by. Now what you're seeing on the news is going to, the numbers dragging on more and more. So that's just going to freak out more sellers, in my opinion, and causing more crash. I don't know. We'll see. Wait, Ellen says, what? Don't judge. I'd still buy a house from it. Did someone say they don't want to get a place from me? Let me read the comments. Shall I kick someone out for not wanting to buy something? I'm just kidding. I don't care. You guys can tell me your honest opinion. We're all buddies here. Love Life. Hi there. Welcome. Adam just arrived. What I missed, just talking about houses. Hi there, Juicy Draft. Lucy. So does this mean I will be able to buy a house at $64,000 salary? So $64,000 a year. I mean, I can't tell you what to do. Honestly, I told you guys, right? One of my favorite podcasts of recent that I listened to like a gazillion. I highly recommend the one by Morgan Housel. I always say his name wrong, which pisses me off, but okay. This is so sad. I asked my brother for this because my brother read this book, but he didn't actually like it that much. So then he gave me this book because I'm like, I want to eventually read it, because Morgan Housel, this guy, I saw him in a podcast with the CEO of a Diary of a CEO. I think that's his YouTube name. Oh my God, I watched so many of his videos. I can't believe I can't remember. Anyways, Diary of a CEO, look it up on YouTube. Great YouTuber. And he interviewed Morgan Housel, the Psychology of Money's author. And I loved that podcast. He actually went on twice. I watched both of them. So probably spent like 4 hours of my life listening to this dude talk, the both of them. And in the first one, so not the most recent podcast, he talks about how you don't actually need to buy a house. Again, not financial advice, do your own DD, entertainment purposes only on my channel, but you don't actually need to buy a house. And there's a lot of like psychological reasons as to why people buy houses. And he says, like, why trap yourself in like a mortgage when you don't need to? Or maybe it may not bring you ultimate happiness. So if we're talking about life decisions and ultimate happiness, you just got to decide what's right. I can't tell you like what's considered right depending on how much salary you have. I think like so many circumstances are involved. Me personally though, and a lot of like these finance gurus do recommend, and I do agree with, is you should not be buying a house. At least I know I want to buy a house because I have a lot of reasons to buy it. I don't want to buy a house just because everyone else has a house or everyone I know wants a house. And the fact that my parents basically validate my success by owning a house or not. So therefore they don't think I'm successful until I own a place. You shouldn't get it for any of those exterior reasons. You really should get a place because it's like, it makes sense to you financially. And there's multiple ways that buying a house makes more sense to you than renting. I think that's the only way to go about it. And for me, there's so many reasons. Like I would like to eventually have a child, so I need a house for that. I want more stability, but you can also rent. Like my parents didn't own a home when they first had me, so it's kind of like that's not the main point of it. So, and I know people who make more money than me and they could easily have a kid and they just choose to rent as well. So there's nothing wrong with renting. It just really depends on your lifestyle, what your normally how much you spend, what like comfort level you have. I'm the type of person where it's like I feel more financially comfortable if I have a roof over my head, a place that I own. I don't want to be told after I've designed the place and like let's say my future child is settled in and be told like, "Oh, sorry, my son's moving back in. I need you to leave," which is a situation that I've actually had friends deal with. So I think that's really important, like stability, especially if you're starting a family. And I think some people like buy a house and they don't really care. They're like, okay, well, I came in here and now like maybe a year later, you're like, I don't like this place anymore. I'm going to move. And they have the financial means to do it and the time and everything. So then they just up and leave. But for me, I'm more long term. I want a place to like just stay in. Of course, due to circumstances, like let's say I buy a place and it's like, knock on wood, hopefully like under $800,000 in California, which is possible, but you have to like find it. But let's say if I find a place like under $800,000 and I win the lottery the next year, then of course circumstances will change because I'll have so much more money that I could move somewhere else. But I don't think of life in the best possibilities. So then I think of it as okay, maybe I'll just buy a place and I'll like most likely will not get super, super rich. Doesn't mean I'm not going to try, but if I don't get super, super rich, it's okay. I'll just stay in this house. And therefore, it doesn't matter to me when a lot of folks will come at me and be like, oh, well, just don't buy then. Just don't buy it. Because when you buy it, you're kind of buying it at America's like, because the last really only since like 2008, so 2008, 2009, even 2010 it was pretty cheap. So basically for the last like 15 years the housing market has just been going up 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 like crazy. Even if you include the dip that we had in 2021 with the pandemic, it's been going up like crazy. So I wouldn't be shocked if I buy a place this year or next. It doesn't matter. I'm planning on buying this year. But let's say I buy a place this year, I'm already ready for the fact that I may buy it at the top or what will be considered the top looking back in the future. You just don't know. It's one way or the other. So I kind of think of it as okay, I might just buy it and then I'll lose like and then the house could go down. Let's say I buy a $1 million house. It could be worth maybe $600,000 2 years later, 3 years later, or maybe like the same year that I buy it. You don't know. And I'm okay with that because I plan on living there long term. Like 10 years if I need to. That's why it's going to matter when you look for it, a location. Just everything kind of has to work out. Um Someone told me to do a shot. I'm like, do a shot. Um I'm trying to stay off of more alcohol than not because I feel like the older I get, the more I'm like, you know what? I'm questioning my life choices from when I was younger. Yeah. I'm like, I don't even know why I drank like alcohol at certain parties. I'm like, I don't even like, I honestly don't think I like the taste of alcohol. This is not alcohol, by the way. This is guava rose and it's so delicious. It's kind of pricey though, honestly. Like they sell this at like Whole Foods. This is like more than $3 or maybe even 350 or something per can, but I'm just kind of addicted. It's really, really good. It has some crazy stuff. I made a video about this. I have a short video about everything, so check it out. But this has fresh brewed rose petals, filtered water, guava puree, agave nectar, lemon juice, Jerusalem artichoke. I don't even know what that is. Rose flavor, chicory root inulin, guava flavor, elderberry juice concentrate, monk fruit extract, live probiotics, and it's organic. So it just tastes really, really refreshing and good. And it's like sparkly. So this is like my new favorite go-to drink when I want something like soda and I don't want to be bad like drinking Coca-Cola. But I will always take a Coca-Cola over like a shot of vodka, honestly. Hi there, Henry. Um, Anita, welcome. Anita says, I want to buy a house in another country, maybe. What country would it be? I mean, I know that in Europe, what was it like? I swear I saw this documentary. It was on the news for a bit that like you could go to Europe. I forget if it was somewhere in Spain. Anyways, do your own DD. This is just off of my memory from all the news that I intake for the last 5 years. But I think if you go to certain places in Europe, like in areas that are like not Milan and they need help and like the houses are like breaking down, they will allow like I think Americans like go over there. You could buy a house, but then you have to like promise to like I think you have to promise to like renovate it. Again, don't take my word for it, but that is a possibility. I'm not going to do that, but someone can do that. I just can't see myself like I love Europe. I've like traveled with my mom to like many places in Europe. I took her on a Euro trip when I was younger and I loved it. Like I love Italy, I love Paris, Switzerland's like, oh my god. And I just can't imagine myself like fully living there. Is that weird? Like I love it. I think it's so beautiful. I just can't imagine myself like living there. It's like one of those places that's like a fairy tale, but it's like I don't belong in the fairy tale. I belong in this crazy busy LA place. Oh, hi there, Dawn. Welcome. Adam, thank you. I don't believe you. It's vodka. I don't like vodka. Vodka is like the grossest in my opinion. Like, you guys can decide what you think is the best shot. But if I had to take shot with friends, I feel like vodka will like not put me in the best mood, but tequila actually puts me in a better mood. Maybe it's the lime and the salt. I don't know. Thank you so much, Dawn. Oh my god, I want to find this by the way. This is from Dave and Buster like years ago, and I started using it for my live streams. And now I can't find it. Now like Dave and Buster has all these lame toys. I still love them. Dawn says, dropping in to say hello. Thank you so much, Dawn. You should try kombucha. I love kombucha. Okay, you know what? Kombucha I like enough, but not every single brand because there's so many brands available that some of them doesn't really taste that good. But when I do find a good one, I don't have like a fave yet, but I remember even like I've had kombucha beer before, and that's good too. Awesome, Adam and Dawn. I love Europe. I love that you guys have known each other for like so long too. We're a little fam here. Jeff says, you stay in California. You ever seen Snoop Doggy Dogg? You know what? I don't bump into celebrities often at all. I think like the one time in my life I went to Nobu, you know, that like really overpriced, expensive restaurant that does seafood over the beach. Um, I was there like one time in my life at nighttime, and I swear there was the Beckhams, so Victoria Beckham, yeah, and then the Beckhams. So I don't, I don't think I've seen any other majorly famous people like more famous than them. Honestly, I don't think I bumped into them, but I don't know where this I don't know where the celebs are. My friend was telling me the other day that at Huntington Library she saw the guy I forgot his real name. Jason Segel. Might have gotten it wrong, but it's the guy who's in How I Met Your Mother, but not not Ted. It's Ted's best friend who's really tall from like Minnesota, which is part of the storyline. She saw him, which I think is pretty cool because I know who he is, but I've never seen him before. I don't know. I don't know where all the celebrities are. I don't bump into them. Not often. I feel like you have maybe more chances. Steven's seen a few. I don't know. I feel like maybe you have more. Oh, Vegas. I did bump into Steve Aoki at a restaurant. And then I was like with my brother and my SO. And then I, of course, being the annoying one, decided to get up off my seat and then bothered him. And then I was like, I totally get it if you don't want to take a picture with us. But if you are down to take a picture with us, can you take a picture with us? Because I think my SO and my brother were just like more embarrassed to go and disturb him while he's having dinner. But then it's not like he was in the middle of eating. At least I don't think. And then my food didn't come either. So then I was just like, I'll try it. And in the worst case, he says no, like, whatever. At least you miss 100% of the chances that you don't take. So I guess Steve Aoki and the Beckhams, and that's pretty much it for me. Before Zac Efron got really buff, I think just after High School Musical, I bumped into him in an airport. Nobody knew who he was because it was really late at night, and like a plane was coming off from like China or something. So that was also pretty cool. I took a picture with him. What restaurant? I honestly don't remember. Because I stay in a lot of different places when I'm in Vegas. I'm pretty sure it's Bellagio, one of the restaurants in Bellagio, an Asian restaurant. But I know that doesn't really help. It was some Asian restaurant in the Bellagio. I'm pretty positive. The Steve Aoki one. I have a picture, but I can't show you because that's with my brother and my SO in there. Patrick Williams, Hall of Fame, works out at my gym. Wow, quite a few SF 49ers and San Jose Sharks live near me. That is so cool. Wow, you guys have all met. Tom Cruise bought my sister a Shirley Temple when my sister was a kid. What? Oh, by the way, I really did like the newest Mission Impossible. People say it's the last one. I hope it's not the last one. Anyways, let me go back to talk about money before I'm here with you guys all day long. What I found weird about the situation. And again, I just want to put out my predictions. I want to know what you guys' predictions are. And if you missed the live stream, it's chill. Just let me know in the comments. I'm just like honestly curious if we can predict what the future is. Most likely we won't. But my guess, especially with like Trump's, he's calling it the big beautiful bill, right? Okay, the big beautiful bill. My prediction is that because I'll read you a couple, I guess, key provisions. This is again on Google, just you can find all this stuff on Google, guys. Key provisions about this one big beautiful bill, whatever he's calling it. Tax cuts. The bill extends the Trump tax cuts permanently, which proponents argue will boost economic growth. It also includes provisions for no tax on tips and no tax on overtime, along with potential tax cuts for seniors. Spending cuts. The bill includes significantly spending cuts, including 1.3 trillion in savings from various areas like Medicaid, green energy, and student loans. The bill includes provisions for work requirements for Medicaid beneficiaries, which are intended to encourage employment. Border security. The bill includes funding for border security, including border wall construction and increased border patrol and ICE agent staffing, which, by the way, if you're in LA, I don't even want to go near like all that's happening. It looks pretty dangerous to me. So I'm staying away from that. Thanks for those of you guys that told me to look out and not go outside. I usually don't go outside anyways. Other provisions, the bill also include provisions related to the permitting process, electric vehicle mandates, and the energy industry, impact and concern. So definitely the Congressional Budget Office, CBO, estimates that the bill would add 2.4 trillion to the deficit, not including interest costs. Economic growth. The bill is intended to stimulate economic growth by providing tax breaks and encouraging investment. Potential concerns. Some critics argue that the bill's spending cuts could harm vulnerable populations and that the tax cuts primarily benefit the wealthy. So after reading all of that, oh, thank you, Adam. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat. Thank you so much, Adam Martinez. And then Boo Boo, don't forget to do a shot. Bro, I don't have a shot. I don't know what you feel like. I just have a lot of alcohol. I absolutely do. I actually have so much alcohol. It's ridiculous. Like, you know how I just have this side, like in the videos for you guys? Because I don't want you to see what a mess and a hoarder I am. I just tell you that. And I think that's enough for your like imagination. But I actually have so much alcohol because whenever I go like to a grocery store and I see like, I don't know, a cool peach Bellini or wine or like tequila on sale, I just buy it. I don't even drink. I just like buy it. And then I think of it as an investment for if I were to go to a party or maybe I could gift it to friends. Like I just think of it as I pre-buy stuff. I like to pre-buy gifts. I know maybe that's weird. I've always done this as a kid. I pre-buy presents that don't go bad. Like, I don't know, anything from like candles to like nail kits to like perfumes. I pre-buy all the things and alcohol is one of them. So it's like I buy like, let's say 100 bottles of like wine and I may not even drink any of them, but I just would bring it to parties. And then I might not even drink it at the parties because I'm trying to like drink less. And I don't know, maybe it's because I'm older now. Like I feel like when after I drink and then if the sun's hot outside, I walk around and I get this like massive headache. Last time I was like in Santa Monica with my girlfriend, I drank like maybe just one cocktail. One cocktail and like a can of something, like maybe less, like maybe like a White Claw, which is so weak. I had like that, not even like back to back. I had that with food in between and I drank water. And then the sun was blazing hot and I just had the worst migraine of my life that whole day and the day after. So I think like my body's just changing and I can't handle alcohol. I'm too old for alcohol. I don't like hard alcohol, Henry says, but still have lots of, what is that? Tijuana tequila from the 90s. Wait, so tequila doesn't ever go bad, right? At least I don't think it does. I'll show you guys some cool like alcohol I have for no reason. Hold on. my God. Okay, there's a lot more, but I had to put in effort to find this, okay? Thank you, son. Aw, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. You didn't have to do that. Guys, I bought this. I don't even know how long ago. I bought this Canadian maple whiskey for like no reason, just because I swear it's shaped like a, it's not just a cutout. I don't want to wait, maybe I'll just open it for you guys. When you see it, you'll realize why I paid for it. Because like I just thought the bottle was really cool. Look at that. So I just really like the bottle. It looks like maple syrup, right? But it's not. It's whiskey. Exactly. A maple leaf. Because like, okay, if I were to be at the Canadian airport, I'm always buying like, you know, those maple cookies and stuff. And then I'll buy like the maple syrup sometimes. But then I was just like, man, this is so cool. It's maple whiskey. Maple whiskey. I think I spent like $50 on this though. So this is kind of pricey. Maybe with inflation, I already made my money back. I don't know. It says it's 22% alcohol. A classic Canadian classic made with only pure Quebec maple syrup, Rocky Mountain water. Rocky Mountain water, though. What is that? I don't even know what that is. And our small batch pot distilled whiskey. Sick. I mean, if you ever go to Canada, I guess you can. I mean, check how dusty it is. Because it's kind of, it's like open. But I put it on my shelf. This is what I mean. Like, it makes no sense, right? But don't worry. I'll never waste it. Like, I'll one day drink it myself / gift it, but I kind of want to try this one. And then this one also, like, this was just such a deal. I don't even know what this is. It's a Christmas snow globe. Gin with certified colors and artificial. It lights up. It says, I light up. That's why I got it. Because I'm like, it's a gin. Like, gin's not bad. Like, sometimes I'll do a gin and tonic. Sounds cool. Ginologists can craft a small batch. Like, the bottle looks really cool. It says shake me, switch me on, and watch it snow. Right? Like, this was also a good purchase because this was like, I don't know how much it was. I think it was like under $15. So I'm like, that's such a good like Christmas gift, except I don't know how long you can keep gin for. But I don't know. Henry says that he has like a tequila since the 90s. So that's like 30 years, 35 years. So maybe, I don't know. Let me know if there's like a timeline on whiskey and tequila and gin. But I always thought you could keep wine forever. So maybe you could keep this stuff forever. I have no idea. I could barely handle the alcohol and kombucha. Muse is on Coinbase. Yeah, I mean, I used to think it's like really cool, like to be drinking. Obviously, like when I was like younger, I was like, oh, so cool. Like, let me go drink with my friends. And I think the older I am, I'm like, I really like the taste, although I always get told I shouldn't be drinking Coca-Cola. My last meal would basically be instant ramen and Coca-Cola because that's how much I love it. Alcohol is like not on the list. Pina coladas are good though, but you could do pina coladas like virgin. All right, let me put my. Whoa! Oh my God. I'm such a hoarder. This episode's just gonna be showing you guys random stuff. I'm such a hoarder that I didn't know I had salt next to my. I just like had 2 giant bath salts next to my alcohol for no reason. And because like all my stuff is so like cluttered everywhere, and I'm just like buying things and I just shove more things in front of things that like I didn't even know I had this. I don't even have a bathtub. I just bought this. Okay, let me put this away. Oh man. Okay, gotta put this away. I don't know how it happened, but I feel like when I was younger, I would laugh at people like that I would see on TV being like, this person's a hoarder and this person has this addiction. And then I used to think like that would never be me. But I truly think I am the biggest hoarder that I know. There is nobody with more single random items, I think, at their home than me. Anina says, I am glad I'm allergic to alcohol and beers. Why did they pick out 200 proof as pure alcohol? Why not 100? LOL. I have no idea. But yeah, I hope my maple whiskey tastes good. Maybe I'll break out the maple whiskey and do a couple shots if, like, I don't know, Dogecoin goes to like $3. So terrible. It's like $1 hasn't even been reached. Maybe even at $1, I'll just break out the Canadian whiskey with you guys. Remind me if I forget, because they do have way too much alcohol. That's just like a small little portion of it. But Dawn was saying that Doge is pumping right now. Yeah, I'm glad that it's at 19 cents. From earlier, it was at like the low 18.1. Let's see the week. Oh, wow. Yeah, June 5th, we were down to like 16 cents. Doge has just been like kind of taking a hit. I'm really proud of Ethereum though. Like, Ethereum just bounces back so quickly. Like, it loses heat at around 2,700 and then it goes to like 2,400, then just bounces back close up to 2,700 like it's nothing. Right now, ETH is doing the best in the top 10 on the CoinMarketCap. It's the only one up over 8% in the last 24 hours. So I hope it makes it over 3,000 soon. Dogecoin is up over 6% in the last 24 hours, 19 cents. I'm going to believe that Doge is in the running finally, and that month will be it for it to go back up to like at least, so December last year, 2024, that's when it was 48 cents. Not sure on other apps. I'm just talking about on Robinhood. It was on 48 cents. So once we surpass like 35, I'll have hopes that it's going to move back like to a new, not new all-time high. That would be over 75 cents, but at least better than last year. And I'm going to be so disappointed, but I hope that's not the case. But I'm going to be really disappointed. My dad's going to laugh at me like crazy because last year I told him that it was at 48 cents. And then he was like, well, why aren't you selling it, you idiot? He was like, you literally saw this thing go down to 9 cents and now it's 48 cents. So he's like, why are you still so greedy? And I was like, but I think it's going to do its best in the end of 2025. So if I'm wrong, I'm going to look so much worse than I already look for 2021 to now. Yeah. So it's going to be like, they're going to make fun of me for many, many more years to come. But I'm going to do a poll with you guys, but you could just give me your honest opinion. I just want to know what you truly feel about my situation. Do you think I missed the high? I should have sold December 48 cents Doge 2024. I hope all of that makes sense, yes or no. So if you think that it's not, basically, if you think Doge is not going to go past 48 cents anymore, you say yes. If you think Doge will go past 48 cents, then the answer is no. But I don't even know who else really has much anymore. Because, like, I actually knew quite a few people that told me they bought, whether it's like in the 100,000 K range USD or like under $10,000 range or a couple grand, couple hundred. There were a few people who basically bought Dogecoin in 2021 though. I think those people all sold, to be honest. There's not many people I meet that are like, yeah, I still, like, real life people that I meet that are like, or friends of friends that are like, I still hold on to it. And I have my Shiba Inu and I have my Dogecoin and all these meme coins that were like basically making waves in 2021. There's not a lot of people with it. Yeah. In 2024 and 2025. So that kind of gives me more hope because every time, and I don't want to, like, it's really weird, but do you find that the more people around you that have things, it just ends up crashing? Because I get that pattern all the time. I feel like every time it's like I buy something and then it's like all over the news and then also everybody else around me gets it and they're like neighbors and cousins and whatever, nieces, nephews. And then it just like starts crashing within usually under 1 month from the moment that you know everyone around you is getting it. So yeah. Yeah. I hope, well, I mean, you kind of want retail to get in, but then it's almost like when everyone you know is in on it and they're like waiting patiently, not really, actually, they're usually not waiting patiently. They're waiting for like quick money. I feel like when everyone is talking about it it's going to have like a very short duration of like 2 weeks or so, and it's either going to like blow or just do terribly and like completely fall apart. But mostly like it could be both. It could like rise really quickly like we saw with Dogecoin in May when Elon did SNL in 2021, and then it just crashes like crazy. The crash actually wasn't even that bad. It crashed from 75 to like 35, and you still had a chance to get out for a while, like months. And then it went down and down and down to like 13 cents and then 9 cents recently last year. Yeah. But good to know that 64% of you apparently believe that Dogecoin is going to do a new high. I'm not sure. I hope so. Doge wants 78 cents back when Matt Wallace was pumping. Doge went to 78 cents back when Matt Wallace was pumping. Okay, Muse saying. So for me, I've never actually seen it at 78 cents. So on my Robinhood account, and I was on BINANCE at the time. So I don't know where, because like I feel like all the different, depending on which app you're using, like which brokerage, it's different. The numbers are different, because I think Robinhood generally, from what I remember, always shows a little bit higher than the other brokerages. So like I remember when I was like, oh, Doge is 70